Hello, everybody. Welcome to StripJourney. We are having episode 32 now. And I'm very excited for my next guest because I feel I saw her at a convention quite a few years ago and then she disappeared. And then she came again with her magic to Prague to the competition. So I'm very happy to go again to Poland, to Warsaw. And I have with me today Viktoryia. Hi, Viktoryia.
Hey, how are you?
Great to have you. Can you quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Viktoryia. I'm 27 years old. Originally, I'm from Belarus. I moved to Poland in 2015, so I live here for about 11 to 12 years. So I've graduated university here. I started working here, so now I'm living in Poland and actually feel like Polish a little bit already. Aside of dancing, I'm a full-time employee, so I'm a corpo, related person. And yeah, that's a little bit about my life in here in Poland.
Absolutely. Another desk worker here.
Yeah.
So tell us your dance story. How did you start dancing?
Actually, I started dancing when I was 3 years old. My mom brought me to my first ever dance class. And this, let's say, exam, the teacher is asked me to do a split. So I was like, what the split is? I don't know. So they showed me, and I actually did the middle one and right one, left one. So at that point, I realized that I'm like very flexible. So yeah, since that day till today, I'm dancing with a short break I had after I moved to Poland. So I was a part of a contemporary dance team, but when I say contemporary, I'm not referencing to contemporary dance style. It was like a small team in the city which were participating in some city events. We were competing inside the country, also going outside, but it was like middle level championships, nothing like super serious. So in 2015, after I graduated the school, I moved to Poland and I stopped dancing for about like 5 years because I had a lot of studies. I had to work in order to study. Like I was skipping studies because I had to work. So that's why it took me 5 years to graduate finally. So yeah, fun story. And in 2020, I started dancing high heels and I danced high heels for like 2 years, I think. After that, I moved to strip dance because I'm like, the heel is higher. Why not? Yeah, actually, in 2025, I think I started teaching and taking it that's serious, let's say. I started organizing events and developing the community as being a part of the community, of course.
So you said strip because it's like higher heel. Why not? So anything else that got you into style?
Yeah, of course. Actually, this is a fun story because I remember when I was a kid, I had the mood board with some different beautiful dresses, high heels, and also I had those strip shoes there on the mood board. But I was like always wondering. I never saw people walking in those shoes. Maybe when I grow up, maybe I will wear them one day. But you know, until the moment I found out that there is a dance style actually where people wearing those shoes, they are dancing in it. I was like, yeah, I need to go there. Theirs will be my place. So here we are.
When you post and stuff, you talk a lot about the value of self-training. So how do you use that for achieving your goals? Like when you started dancing, did you have a lot of teachers and you worked a lot on your own or?
Actually, when I started with the frame up, I was like visiting regular trainings twice in a week, like 2 hours in general in a week with a group. But then I realized that at some point you think that you want to, let's say, speak up. Yeah. So I decided, okay, maybe at first I found out that I can rent out the hall and train on my own because before for me it was some like nonsense. And after that, I realized at the beginning it was very weird, because you rent out the hall, you enter the hall, you play the music, and then what's next? So at the beginning, it was very frustrating at some point, and I didn't know what to do. But you breathe in, you breathe out, and then you just like slowly starting to do things like practice techniques or like watching even other people dancing, try and repeat the same things. And when we talk about the self training, for me, the time alone is the most valuable time because, first of all, no one is watching you. You can do whatever you want. I mean, when you're like, I don't know, improvising in the group, it's a nice practice, of course, but sometimes you feel that you can do whatever you want. But well, when self-practicing, you can try different things. You can, make the weird faces, you can make weird moves. And this is the direct way to creating something new and something unique. So for that, I really value the self-training. And for me, the time alone in the hall is like the best time. Because no one is saying you what to do. Nobody is controlling your time. You may like work out for 1 hour, then for 1 hour you can just lay down and watch other people dancing reels or something, because if it's nice for you right now, so go ahead and chill. Okay, of course you can dance for 5 hours in a row. It's also up to you. So for me, this freedom is very valuable, let's say. It also helps me to think. Yeah, when, for example, I'm dancing, I usually record myself, because when you're improvising, for example, you never know what's going to happen. And sometimes you may just cut this part and then move to the choreo, you know? That's also fine for me. So that's why, actually.
And I'm curious, so self-training, how many hours a week do you self-train?
It's hard to say but because I'm a corporate worker, like 9 to 5, I'm like locked with this nice guy laptop. But whenever I have time, I usually in the hall. So for me, I'm teaching in a school here in Warsaw. So like Wednesday to Friday, I'm there. But whenever I have free time, whenever I'm leaving work earlier, I go straight to the dance hall and like dancing there. So like practicing doing some exercises, homework from the online courses and stuff. So yeah, usually I spend more time in the dance hall rather than at home,
So teaching, tell us about your teaching experience.
So I started teaching in 2025, so last year in January. So it was a very, very stressful time for me, but I finally felt the freedom that I want to share with people. I have something to tell to the community, let's say, or to the people who is starting their journey, right? Because I was there, I know how it is, and I mean, if I have something to say, I should speak up. That's what I think. So I started with January course. Let's say I wasn't expecting to like to receive many applies for that, and I started with an advertisement in the Instagram, and I actually had a sold out. I was so surprised that I didn't expect that for sure. Um, but yeah, I what I tried to do, I tried not to um, how to say, move people from other groups, yeah, from other teachers. Instead, I tried to gather the group with people who are either new to frame up or like just tried it once and didn't continue for some reason. So my goal was to like bring up those people, and actually I succeeded, because like 80% of the people were from exo style, pole dance, or they tried frame up once. So it was a nice experience, because I wanted to provide them the classes which are combined with the choreography techniques, as well as theoretical parts. So we were talking about how to find the best shoes for you. What size should you choose? Like which height of shoes we have in frame up strip. So that was a really nice experience. Until today, I received like messages from those people like, "Oh, thank you. We never been able to find this information." Of course, now there are many things which explains those topics, how to find the best shoes and stuff like that. But year ago, it was like really hard to find it, and I'm like, yeah, we should do that. So yes, after that course, I actually didn't plan to have a group, because I thought, okay, it's a one-time opportunity. We did that. It was nice, and I will pay more attention on my self-development. But then one girl, which is the student of mine till today, so for more than a year, she said like, "Oh, will you organize the regular group for us?" And I was like, "Oh no, oh." So, but I'm the person who sometimes can't say no. Oh, here we are. I'm teaching.
Regular group.
I'm teaching already for 1 year. I have this regular group. So, like, we are practicing every month. I'm trying to think of something new. It's like not only about the choreo. Sometimes it's a technique. Sometimes it's practices with shoes, without shoes. I'm inviting different teachers. Like in last year, I invited the girl. She was teaching us the Vogue. She's from Banchinche family. Yeah. So I'm trying to be creative, because I understand that at some point the only choreos could be boring because you need to develop different parts of yourself, not only remembering, but for example, remembering fast or doing repetitive things or just a technique for 2 hours, which is killing everybody. But I mean, who we are without the technique, right? So yeah, I started teaching. At some point, I realized that me myself, I want to develop the community more, and I want others to have an opportunity to learn from other teachers. So I started bringing other people, other teachers to Poland. Uh, yeah, so and I'm moving this way. The plans for this year is to even bring more people, if that would be possible, of course.
Around the time you started teaching, you started doing also a lot of promotions for frame up style and for different kind of things or social media as well,
Yeah,
right?
I created actually this Frame Up Strip Poland account. The reason for that was that I heard so many times that frame up dancers, which are only beginners, or like practicing for a long time, they're saying, "Oh, we don't know where to go. There are no events for frame up strip," or "Oh, what are the teachers in Poland, or where we can, who we can learn from in cities in Poland." So I was like, there are many events. There are many events and many teachers in Poland. So I was like, what if we put everything together under the one Instagram account? So yeah, that was my idea again. As I'm a part of the community, I was quite, how to say, stressed to let people know this is in my account at first, because I want them to consider it as an opportunity, not that it's my personal account where I will promote only people who I like, for example, or something. No, that was absolutely independent choice for promoting everybody who's ever touched frame up strip. So for now, we are promoting there people who is doing master classes, who is doing like online courses. We even try to promote people there who are outside of the Poland, because those who's following this Polish account, they also want to, for example, learn from others, and others they provide online courses, so it's also fine. So it's like exchange of information, which is like useful for all of us, I think now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is also what we need. I mean, this is why I started the podcast and everything as well. So we can get to know each other,
Yeah.
right? What is your opinion now? Where is Frame Up in Warsaw or in Poland in general? As you said, there is a lot of teachers. How is the community developing?
We actually growing. We are growing so fast, and with the help of online courses and exchanging the experience and being so close to each other. I remember recently we had master classes, after which we went together with all the Polish community. We were exchanging, we were laughing. It was so warm and so nice. I really, I am proud that we have such a community. I'm proud to be a part of it, and I'm really feeling very warm towards each member of this community, because it's so nice. We are like people which are united by one common goal, let's say, where we understand each other, So
Hmm.
when there are different people from different categories of lifestyle, and you are on the one table, you can catch everybody's emotions. But when you're in a dance community, in this frame up strip community, someone says something and you can catch it immediately, because you're on the same page. So, and I really really like to see people not stopping growing, developing themselves in this community, in this style. And for me, like, I really admire, like, for example, Anya Tapunova, which is like, also she's from Belarus. She's amazing. She's so brave, I would say. Like, recently I found out she's going to battles for her first time, and I'm like, I'm proud for her. But I mean, it's not me who is going to participate in battles, but I'm proud for her. We also have here my dance friend, let's say, dance colleague, Katya Shunko. She's not teaching in Warsaw, but she's like practicing on her own. I'm frequently visiting her for her individual classes, for some choreos. She's teaching people just randomly, so she's very nice. We been as a part of the Hushers team previously long ago, but after that she left, and we caught up in some time, and I see her like growing so fast. And for me, it's so I feel again, proud and warm, and it's nice. It's so cool. Like a few days ago, I was at her master class, and I look at her and like this is a absolutely different emotion she shows in her choreos, and she think differently, and I'm like just looking at her and thinking, wow, so for me this energy exchange is like the base for everything, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's so nice to hear about the growing community because yeah, we were always like, oh, Prague is the center, but I think Warsaw is now really strong, and there is also so much variety in teachers and everything. So it's really cool. And as you said, you organized events, you brought visiting teachers, you've done some collaborations like with Vivian that kind of
Mhm.
happened when you were in Greece, and then you brought her there.
Yeah.
And so how did that happen? How did that video happen?
Oh, actually, that was super nice because I had a burnout at work, and I'm like, okay, I'm taking 2 weeks off and I'm going somewhere. Where I go? Okay, I go to Greece. I just selected the country randomly. So I bought my tickets and I realized, so for 2 weeks, I'm not taking strip shoes with me. No, no way. So, I had this small luggage. Half of that was filled with strip shoes and like swimsuits, something like that, towels and something. So I went there and I wrote to her because we had some small chat during Strip Stars camp, where I taught last year, I think, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, and I wrote to her if I can just go to her classes there, but she said that she had a break, so she didn't provide classes at that time. But she said, "Oh, we can catch up and create something." So I was like, "Yeah, of course, let's go." So we rented out a hall for 2 hours, I think. And I said, like, you choose the song, you choose the vibe. I'm just following it. It's gonna be fun, I think. I didn't expect anything from that. So we went to the hall. We started with some moves with the song she brought, and we started like creating and creating. And I'm like, "What if this?" She's like, "Yes." She's like, "What if we do this?" I'm like, "Yes, okay." So we spent like 40 minutes on creating this choreo. We were so surprised. So the videographer after that came. We recorded amazing video, the best one I think I had. So it's just worked that good, that and that easy. When you approach things very easy, I think that you have the best result at the end. So yeah, that's how it happened. And after that, we had some drinks, and we are like, whoa, what if we organize something in Warsaw? What we organize something in Greece? And yeah, that's what happened. We didn't organize in Greece yet, but because I had like problems with my residence permit, I was waiting for the documents. It's like a long story, but finally now I got it. So more to come on that, I think.
Yeah, I know when that video came out, and it was like I talked to Vivian before that. I was like, this is what I want, like people from across Europe just coming together and coming up with this cool stuff.
Yeah.
That was, to me, that was like, wow, we're getting somewhere now as a community and everything. So that was just so cool when that one came out. So okay, and then you went competing last year at Stage 18.
Yeah.
And how did that happen? How did you
I don't
decide
know.
to go compete?
I don't know how did that happen, but um, I just realized I always like to take challenges, and for me, we may talk about it later, but for me, like performing on stage, this is a nightmare for me. And even performing in a dance class when everybody's looking, this is my fear from the childhood. And still, trying my best actually. I don't know, maybe not so many people know about it, but we are revealing the secrets now. So I decided that if I'm starting teaching, yeah, I need to be an example for my students. So at some point, I will push my students, for example, to go on stage. But what a teacher I am if I can do the same, right? So for me, it was like, I need to do it first and then maybe, cheer up my students to go on stage, to perform and to develop. Because I think just dancing in the classroom, it's like not enough. I mean, we have different plans, we have different goals, but if you're aiming to be a frame up strip star, let's say, right? So you need to go above and beyond, right? I started creating the solo uh 3 months before the stage, actually, because I know that deadlines, they impacted me very bad. So I started with a song. I choose one, then I didn't like it. I chose another one, and I didn't like it. I chose the third one, and then my friend told me, like, for the first time, choose something that gives you like feeling that you're vibing. You like the song. Okay, I will choose something. So I found the song. I started. I started creating the solo, and that was nice, actually. I was practicing in the gym with people surrounding me because at that time, all the halls were far from my place where I lived. What's important, I applied for participate in master classes in stage. On the first day, they announced the event. So I was like, I will apply now and I will have a
Discount.
chance discount, yeah, of course, and I will never have a chance to resign because I already applied. There is no way back. Like who does this? No, but okay. So yeah, I created the choreo actually. Um, I was trying to add many acrobatic elements there, but at the very last day where I was in Prague, actually after master classes practicing, I was like, come on, nobody knows that I created those acro elements. If I remove them, nobody's gonna know they were there, right? Because for me, it's very important. If you can do it 10 times out of 10, this acrobatic element, you can go on stage and do it as a part of your solo. If you do it like 9 out of 10, better not to risk, because if you remove it from your choreo, maybe it's gonna look better rather than you, let's say, fail, and you're gonna spoil your whole performance, right? So yeah, the last day before the competition, I was practicing there. I was like out of my breath, out of my power or anything. I was so how to say that, empty at some point. Um,
Because you were also Baina called you to like dance at the end of her class, like at the
yeah,
last class, and that looked also like you gave it your all on that one.
yeah, and that also scared me because this is my second call out for let's say solo, and second time when I spoiled everything and I didn't, because I don't know, again, this dancing in front of the people, for me it's so stressful, so I forget everything. I have only this white screen and noise in my ears, and I'm like, oh no, and then I'm like improvising. I'm like, yeah, I can improvise, of course, but that's a different thing. So yeah, it's also was stressing me out because I, let's say, failed twice, and the next day we had the competition, and I was like, what if I go there on the stage and again anything like that happens? So I was very stressing, waiting to perform, but it went well. Let's say that was nice experience, actually. And what was even better, that I saw our community performing. That was like, I was super surprised. We are so different. Like, it's amazing.
Mhm. Yeah, and the level is just going crazy every time it gets higher and higher.
Yeah,
It's gonna be exciting.
yeah,
Yeah. And now you will teach at the convention as well. Are you?
yeah. I am ready, of course. Now I'm not that stressed. When I'm teaching, it's a different thing. I really like teaching. I really like explaining things, and I'm really thinking about something like, well, I wouldn't say unique, yeah, but something the level harder than normal, yeah, because I want to bring something different, yeah. So I was analyzing what we've done last year on the master classes and was trying to create something, which differs a bit at least. Yeah. So but since I was waiting for my documents, I didn't apply for participating in Stage 18 Plus. because I was thinking, that it's not going to happen. But I'm still excited to watch our community dancing because, as I said, Katya, which is not teaching here, she's going to participate in the competition. I'm happy even looking at others dancing, really.
It's going to be a great weekend. So what are your next plans?
I'm still planning to bring people here. Still planning to organize some collaborations, right? Actually, with Liza Makarova, we are planning to throw our club class because we were planning it for a long time. We met twice in Warsaw, but we are so, busy that we can't catch up finally and agree on time and day. So, but we are working on that. And very unique news. But me and my dance colleague, my friend, we are organizing the championship in Warsaw. So that's going to be the championship with master classes. But the championship not only directed to frame up style, it's all styles championship. Yeah, the name of the championship is Metro Champ. And we
Mm,
are actually about to release all the information, and we will be happy to host people there finally.
nice. What time of the year?
It's going to be this summer. The July, but we're still confirming on the date just to make sure that we are fine with the dates. It's actually very nice story of my life because when I was young, I was like listening to the music and I was like laying in bed dreaming about me being a part of something like that, being like not even a part, but organizer of an event which unites all the people with the same idea, with the same goal. And now, I was like, last year in December, probably, I was thinking about bringing new people, planning for the next year, what we can do, collaborations and stuff. And I was like, what if we organize the championship? I came to my friend and I was telling to her, like Marina, she's actually the owner of Sculptura Dance School here in Warsaw. Marina, what if we organize the champ? She was like, yeah, why not? So that was so simple. And this is actually very important to have people surrounding you, the people like that who can share your idea, your goal, who is on the same page, let's say on the same way. They understand you. You don't actually need to explain some things. They just agree on that and like, let's go. So here we are. We are working hard on that right now, and we are we are very excited because this is like our kid. This is really hard, but this is so exciting, and finally bringing this opportunity to Poland and organizing it in Warsaw. Yeah, I think that's gonna be good.
You mentioned listening to music and stuff, so I want to move to the next part, which where I ask you a little bit about your own style and everything. And I've noticed you very often post some like unique songs and things. So tell us a bit about that.
Well, I was thinking about that a lot because I think the whole community, we are trying to find our own style, but that's quite hard, especially because this is growing so fast. We have so many dancers surrounding us. And for me, I wouldn't even lie that I have my personal like style right now, like my signature moves or something. Because I started to think seriously about the frame up strip like just the last year, and I'm still developing my performance. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. Like I just nearly ended Baina's course online. I'm still trying to touch base, yeah, and find something. But what is my, let's say, uniqueness? I would say I really like improvising. I really like to like randomly select the song and just do the moves. I like weird moves. I like those flex positions of your feet. I do really like the freedom comparing to performing, for example, the choreo in front of the audience, where I'm stressful. I'm not really stressful to improvising in front of the audience because you don't have those frames. They are like disappearing. And there I feel really confident, comfortable. Maybe that will be my, signature in the future, like the star of improvisation, say.
But that's exactly going back to the Baina's class because this is what we could see. Once the choreo was done and it was you to the music, you were like, I got this now.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nice. This is one of my favorite videos, I think, from master classes or ever I'm improvising because I was like feeling it, you know.
Yeah, we could tell. All right, so you like to improvise, but how do you make choreos then?
It depends. Sometimes I just create a pack of moves. I put them in a row, and then I play the music, and I try to adjust it on music. Yeah, so where I'm practicing my musicality and understanding of rhythm, beats, and stuff. But sometimes I'm just playing the song, like placing my camera and I'm just dancing and I'm just looking, okay, this is something interesting. Okay, we will take it. And the hardest thing there is to repeat what you just improvised. This is the hardest thing because um, sometimes you don't even understand how you just did that. But for that, I think we need to practice more on technique, like separating the move. You need to understand what you just done. So this is this process, this is this practice. You move by transition. So yeah, this is understanding. Once you understand it, you can repeat it. But sometimes, sometimes we fail.
You mentioned about liking to teach beginners and people for different stuff. So, what kind of advice would you give people who want to get into frame up?
Well, I would say that it's better late than never. First of all, the other thing is just to go out of your comfort zone, which is very hard but super important. Because when you only dance the things that you can dance where you're comfortable, of course it's good for your mental health probably, but you are not growing if you're not moving. Yeah. So I think this is the most important thing. We always will face our fears and things like me participating on stage was a nightmare for me, but I've done it once, I've done it twice, and I will do it for the third time. But if not to do it now, then when?
So, I have a bunch of questions to ask everybody in every episode. And I don't know, maybe I need to change this one because the answer is always the same. I always just ask people, do you prefer boots or sandals? And that was like 2 years ago when I started first making the podcast when people still wore boots. But these days,
Okay. Yeah, I will choose sandals, of course.
I guess my question should be like 9 or 10 inch, or something like that.
Well, yeah, maybe. But we have so different things, different criteria now. So maybe
Yeah.
something new will come up. Yeah. Or the color, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have somebody who's your inspiration or your icon in frame up?
Yeah. So it is Irene. She was my inspiration in the very beginning. I remember her first time watching live performing on World of Dance in Austria. I cried really. I still have this recording of her performing. I rewatch it like sometimes. And for me, this is an inspiration. She's an inspiration because for me, she's super unique. Every time I watch her like performing on master classes, not even her own, it seems like she can do everything. She's pro in every like dance style. Of course, it's not true, but it looks like. And for me, every time she does something, I'm like inspired. I can go to the dance hall, create something. So the way she present herself, the way she provide the classes, because she was here in Warsaw, she was invited by Anya Strog as a part of Kabluk dance. So it was just amazing. Really, I really like to learn from her. I really like her as a person. She's very like soft, calm. I like this kind of people. So yeah, and for me, she's been inspiring me at the very beginning, and she's inspiring me now. Like whatever she does, that's how it is right now.
Yeah, she's great. I also remember when I first saw her in Prague, but also I'm so happy she does her choreos now online as
Yeah.
well, so we can all still learn from her. That's really cool. Do you have any favorite choreo you have learned or a project you have joined that's not your own?
I wouldn't say that I really like something in specific because still for me everything is so different now. I wouldn't say that I visited even one masterclass which was repetitive. No, everything is new to me. I don't know, maybe this is my attitude to things that I learn or to people that I learned from, but for me everything is still unique. Of course, I'm participating only in classes which I want to participate, in, but still, for me, I like everything. I can't
Yeah.
say that something was like better than anything else.
Fair, fair. And how about your own stuff? Do you have a favorite choreo you made?
Yeah, I actually have a favorite one. This is the one I posted on my Instagram with the black suit, green lights. And the story behind that was that my student, she usually takes my individual classes, and she said, "Okay, we learned all your choreos. Let's go with my suggestion." She sent me the song of AFK Twigs, and it was like a techno song so fast. I was like in the bus on my way home, and I started listening it. I'm like, "Oh no, what are we gonna do?" I'm like, what can I do? And then, okay, I stressed a bit. Then I slept with this song. And the next morning, I went to the hall and I started creating. And it's actually my favorite one. It's super short, like a routine, but it's fast and it's super like Mm, it's not that similar to other choreos that I create. So now I'm practicing asking my friends or people just to send me some songs they would like to dance for. So, and I'm trying to create some choreos using those songs which are actually out of my comfort zone. I would never pick up this song like to create a choreo, but it's a nice experience actually. Everyone should try it. I think that's gonna bring good ideas and good choreos.
So find your friend or your teacher and send them something now.
Yes.
All right, my favorite. Describe frame up in one word.
Oh, it's about the attitude. The attitude. So I feel when I dance frame up, having those shoes on my feet, you start having attitude. You're like this. Even if you're dancing something soft, for me it's like that. So I don't know why, but I don't know. This is the first word I thought about when you asked the question.
Yeah, you cannot hide them, right?
Yeah,
There is no,
that's definitely.
no you're not discreet. No. All right, and then next one is what's a fun fact about you that your students don't know?
Well, I don't know how fun it is, but as I said, I'm afraid of public performance. It's also so you see, you're laughing, so it's fun. Nice. On the classes, on the stage, wherever, even like public speaking for me sometimes is tricky. And the not really fun fact, when I was performing previously, when I just started performing like a solos or on master classes, I have a feeling that I'm about to faint, when teacher is calling out someone to dance. But I'm working on that. It's fine. It's just like it's me. It's part of me, so it's fine.
And as you said, coming out of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah,
So
this is a part of that. But how strong will I be after I, compete with those fears and stuff? So I think everyone have something to fight with, and this is a good practice. Of course, we shouldn't torture ourselves. This is very important, but in general, this is a nice practice.
usually at the end, I ask people, do you have any messages for people listening?
Yeah, so as I said, this is better late than never. And if you have any doubts, like in your mind now, just go and do whatever you're afraid of, no matter what the result is. Just go and try, just like that, without the intention to succeed or win or like go above and beyond. So just like do it.
So
That's it.
get up and do your training, do your homework, do
Yeah.
everything now. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me tonight and for your story and for sharing all your thoughts.
Good. Thank you for having me. That was so nice and so warm.